Good morning everyone. We are in our strength of materials class, and today we will see the bending test on cantilever beam. So, what will be the property of that cantilever beam when we apply load on it? So, the bending moment on the cantilever beam will get maximum bending will get at the maximum deflection in the cantilever beam will get at the free end. So wherever the free end is there we will get the maximum deflection when we apply the load. So because it is far away from the support, this is the fixed support, and here we are applying the load so that we are getting the deflection at the free end. Okay, so for calculating the deflection at free end, we have formula delta is equal to WLQ by 3EI. So here W is the weight and L is the length of the span, and what is remaining? E is the Young's modulus of elasticity, of the material. And what is remaining? I. This is the moment of inertia. Moment of inertia. I is equals to, for cantilever beam, BD cube by 12 is the formula. And what we have to determine, the one more thing is bending stress. Bending stress B, sigma B is equals to Mi by Y. So where M is bending moment, M is equals to W into L. So weight into length of the span. So what we need to determine the deflection in Young's modulus and the bending stiffness in the bending moment is to determine the deflection with respect, and also these are the independent variables we have to determine. Now we will see the deflections while we applying the loads on the cantilever beam. Now we will measure the deflections on the cantilever beam. This is the setup of cantilever beam. One is the fixed end and this is the free end. And this is our hinge for the supporting of loads. Where do we apply the loads with the help of this hinge. And these are the different weights which we apply on the, these are the weights which we apply on the beam. And we can also apply the loads at the top of the beam, because it is a model of the beam. We cannot get the appropriate value of deflection, so that we are taking the help of this hinge span of the load span. And this is the vernier calipers to determine the thickness and width of the beam, because this is the very small distance. We cannot get appropriate length by using scale. And this is the scale we are using to measure the length of the span. And also the one more main thing in the calculating deflection is, this is dial gauge which will measure the deflections of the beam. So it will have a clip of lock on and off. If we on, the magnet will be activated in this stand, so that it will be the base of the loading equipment. So if we off the clip, then what happens? We can remove the magnet from the dial gauge from the base of the application of equipment. So this is to not to get any deflection, any disturbance in the deflection, external difference except on the load application of the beam. Now we will fix up the dial gauge. Before that, what we have to do, we have to measure the scale, length of the beam and width of the beam, thickness of the beam. So with the scale we are measuring the length, and that should be noted down in the notebook. And with the vernier calipers, so this is the vernier calipers. It will have two scales, that is main scale and vernier scale. If the line between the main scale and vernier scale where it is coincided, then we can take it as the length of that particular element which we are measuring. So we have to fix it up, and without disturbing we have to tighten the screw, and we can take the length of the beam and note down. And also same way we have to take the thickness of the beam. So by this way, and we have to completely fix it up, tighten up the screw, so that we will get the thickness of the beam, and we have to note down these three values: length, width and also the thickness of the beam. Now starting of the experiment, we have to fix it the loading span, and at the point of loading we have to fix the dial gauge so that we can get the appropriate deflections by applying the load on it. Now I have just structured the dial gauge to the, so if it is disturbing, it is having some deflections by tilting and fixing. So what I am doing, I am owning this clip, and so it is just touched to the span, that is cantilever beam. So we have to tighten up all the screws to avoid the disturbances and any deflections, extra deflection. Now we have to set up the dial gauge to 0. So there is tilting of this hinge, so that there is the deflection we are getting. See here, the minimum scale of this dial gauge is 1 mm is equals to 0.01 mm. So we have to multiply with 0.01 mm, whatever the value we got here. Okay, now see here, we are also have to consider this small dial gauge which is inside the dial gauge, that will give the number of rotations of this bigger like linear indicator. Okay, if the indicator moves a distance from 1 to 2, then it means that this big indicator moving having complete rotation and taking the another measurements. So that we have to take the values, and also we have to multiply with 0.01. Now I am gradually applying the loads, because we have set up the beam completely. So also here we got some deflection. So 0. First, initially I am applying first load take the weight and also the deflection whatever we got here. And next we have to apply one more load and take the deflection whatever we got here. And third load I am applying here without disturbing the complete equipment setup, and we have to take the deflection over here. And same way we have to again note down the deflection by applying the third load, and gradually we have to remove the deflections weights one by one and note down the deflections. And for if it is for 300 grams we have to take the deflection, and it is addition of loads we have get this deflection, we have to note down the deflection. And also while removing the loads one by one we have to note down the deflections again for the weights whichever we are adding. So there is the difference in deflection. Now I am taking one more load, so there is again one more deflection, and I am taking up the complete loads so that this is again came to 0. So that's all in the practical, only these values we have to take, and now we have to go for the calculation part. For calculating Young's modulus, what is the formula? E is equals to WL cube by 3 delta I. So we have W value, L value and delta value here. Here we have W and delta, and the length is we have here. And the remaining thing what we have to know, we have to determine the moment of inertia. The formula for moment of inertia is I is equals to BD cube by 12. So what is the value of B here? 32. 32 into what is D? 1.5. D is the depth of the beam or thickness of the beam, and BD cube divided by 12. So the value is 71.17. Now we have to substitute this LB and WL and delta I values so that we will get different Young's modulus for the different loads. So we will take as E1, E2, E3. So for E1 we have to take delta 1, E2 we have to take delta. So what is the first weight here? 4.9. We have taken the weights into grams, kgs, and with the multiplication of 9.81 we can convert into newtons, because the units of Young's modulus per Newton per meter square, Newton per mm square we have to convert into newtons. Now see here, this is the weight 4.8 and length is 255 mm. WL cube by 3 we can take as this. And what is the delta? We have to take delta 1 here, 3.26, and I value what we got here, 71.72. So we have to take 71.7, and as it is we have to take the second weight 9.81 into 255 whole cube divided by 3 into what is the second